What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Thursday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup, where as always it's a pleasure to be here with you. Today we're going to discuss the latest in the, well, I don't really know what to call it, but the Mohamed Salah situation. That's probably the best I can come up with for now. We're going to try and figure out what on earth is going on, what it might look like moving forward. We'll have some talk about whether or not we could look at a sale of Mohamed Salah down the line, or whether this is all just a mountain out of a molehill. Truth is, we don't really know right now, but we'll try to figure it out together. On top of that, we're going to give you some updates on Liverpool's search for a centre-back. We'll have a little bit on Virgil van Dijk, and a rousing speech he gave to the players to try and get them back to winning ways, and a few other bits and pieces that I hope keep you right up to date. I will be here tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda, where I hope you can join me to break down last night's game and of course have a little look ahead to the Brentford match. And believe it or not, that Brentford preview is already coming out. That'll be out tonight at 10:45. Until then, let's get cracking with the news. Right, so last night after the game, we knew that Lewis Steele and a few other journalists had said that Mohamed Salah just went straight down the tunnel and he looked like he was sulking. That's Lewis Steele's words. Well, that's me paraphrasing Lewis Steele's words. Looks like he was unhappy and he went down the tunnel. Now, I, or anybody else don't know why he was unhappy. Was he unhappy with his own performance and the chances he missed? Was he unhappy with only getting X amount of time on the pitch? Look, we can speculate, but the truth is we don't know. But what we do know is, afterwards, he went online and he went to X and removed his header and his bio and a few other bits and pieces. And there's just now a picture of him with his daughter. Nothing Liverpool related from what we can see. And we don't know why. Now, I want to say something, and I want to, I guess, counter what I'm about to say by putting the obvious caveat out there. Because I know there's Mohamed Salah FC fans out there who, whenever we say anything in any way critical of Mo, lose their minds. But we're going to have to do what we're going to have to do. And let's be honest about this. If Mohamed Salah is unhappy with anyone, it should be himself. You know, if he's frustrated with Liverpool fans and he thinks he's getting a hard time online from Liverpool fans, with all due respect, tough. You know, football is a tough game. And these same fans that, were speculating that he may be unhappy at are the very same fans who went to bat for him to make sure that he got his pay rise. You've seen, he plays with a bow, give him his dough. You've seen all the fans on social media sticking up for Mo, backing him to get that new contract with the club, which he got. Now, of course, it's incumbent upon him to deliver on that new contract. And yes, we will always caveat the death of Diogo Jota as something that will impact players. And that's okay. We've said this many times as well. If any players or a handful of players are struggling more than others, then absolutely they need to be protected, taken out of the limelight and given all the help and support that they need. But on the football pitch side of things, if you're okay to play and you're underperforming, that's on you. Mohamed Salah is no different to any other player at any other football club. He cannot go 7 games in a row without scoring from open play as the standard bearer of this Liverpool attack and expect to just keep starting games. So the truth is, I don't know why he's unhappy, but in my humble opinion, he's got absolutely no reason to be upset with fans. On social media, there are always going to be fans at either end of the spectrum that go a little bit too far. Some too far in their praise, some too far in their criticism, but most people live in the middle. And most people are giving reviews or giving critiques of what we've seen so far this season. So this is Darwin Núñez level behaviour, in my opinion, and it's just not befitting of him, the situation, and most importantly, it just attracts more criticism to the club from the outside. So if he is trying to play the whole ratchet up the pressure to try and get him more game time, I don't think it's going to work this time, because every poll that I've seen about this, asking should he start the next game, 9 people out of 10, and I'm talking about 4 or 5 different fan account polls I've looked at, everybody feeling that he deserves this little spell on the bench. Now, I'm not writing him off, you're not writing him off, and many people certainly aren't writing him off. But he does have to understand that form is temporary and he needs to get back to it. So for me, this is a mountain out of a molehill, and I really think it's a bit petty from Mo, and he should be above this type of stuff, because Liverpool fans have been wholeheartedly supportive of Mo over his time at the club and going to bat for him, even against the club's owners when necessary. So that's my take on it, but of course, it is just speculation at this point, as we don't know exactly what's happened, but I want to know what you guys think on it. Next up, we're going to move on to a report from Football Insider about Mohamed Salah's future and what may or may not happen. So this piece here, posted by Transfer News Live, said, Liverpool have no plans to part ways with the winger Mohamed Salah either in January or in the summer. but the Egyptian international is likely to have the final decision on his Anfield future. Salah has found it difficult to maintain his form lately, with his performances and statistics dipping noticeably at the start of the new season. He remains under contract with the club until the end of the 26-27 campaign. So look, if Mo wants to move away, that's on him, like we've said. The club want him to stay, that's been put out there, but if he doesn't feel like he's getting enough game time, or maybe he acknowledges that he won't be able to get back to that form, if he wants to move away, I'm sure the club will facilitate that. But this cannot end bitter. Let's not go down this road, because the idolisation that we have as fans for Mo is well deserved, first and foremost. And if he is to leave the club, let it be in a Bobby Firmino type way. Let it be with good graces, and let Liverpool fans give him a goodbye. Nobody wants him to go, and I'm certainly not wishing him away, but we've got to look at all bases here, and I hope he stays. I'm not writing him off. I think he can get back to better form than he's shown now, but I also think the manager and fans are absolutely spot on in thinking that he doesn't deserve to start games with this current reign of form. So that's my take on it, of course, but over to you and what you think may happen with Mo down the line. So, James Pearce has said that with the mood low, our captain Virgil van Dijk organised a player-only meeting after the defeat to Manchester United. The captain delivered a rousing speech to lift spirits after a torrid run of results. Eintracht Frankfurt were then swept aside. Nobody's going to sit here and say that that wasn't a much better performance last night against Frankfurt. It was, but they were also fairly weak opposition, so we were expected to beat them. That being said, I'm never going to turn my nose up at a 5-1 victory, and it was a joy to watch last night. The lads looked far more fluid, they looked far more confident, and dare I say it, the system looked far more suited to the way that we wanted to play. I'm interested to see if we carry that system and similar team selection into the game of the weekend against Brentford, but good to hear that the captain did round up the players and get them back on track and give them that rousing speech. So well done, Virg. Anything Liverpool, they've said only Kylian Mbappe and Arda Güler have created more chances than Florian Wirtz in the Champions League this season. So as we can see, people starting to recognise now that yes, Wirtz has finally got a couple of assists last night, but like we've said before, he's been unlucky. He has been getting better game on game for me, and I thought last night he was very good. So let's talk now about a report from Bild and Nico Schlotterbeck. This report here said if Nico Schlotterbeck doesn't sign the contract extension, Borussia Dortmund could force the centre-back to stay until his deal ends in 2027. He would then be able to move on a free transfer. We bring this up, of course, because he's one of the names that had been linked with a move to Liverpool. And we do need to move in this January market, from my experience anyway. We need to move quickly and get somebody in, because we're down to 3. Heaven forbid if one of the other boys gets injured, then we're in serious trouble. Curtis Jones, and I like this from Curtis, by the way, and I thought he was brilliant last night, backing up his good substitute performance against Manchester United. So Curtis said, I've been saying it for a few weeks, that our games are like basketball games, end to end. I've come in the team, and in my mind, I want the team to play through me. I can dominate the game if I've got the ball a lot. Dom next to me, who's comfortable as well. And he's not wrong. Every time Curtis Jones receives the ball, he's forward-looking and wants to make something happen. So 2 years ago, I'd have laughed at that coming out of Curtis Jones' mouth. But right now, I love the confidence. I love it. Give me the ball. Give me and Dom the ball. We'll make stuff happen. Keep it going. And who knows? Maybe he is going to force his way into being a mainstay in this Liverpool 11. Let me know your thoughts on Curtis Jones. So finally, folks, before we finish up, Liverpool are said to be considering Bayern Munich's star Dayot Upamecano as a possible alternative to Mark Gay, according to Mirror Football. Like Gay, Upamecano's current contract with his club is due to expire on June 30th, and talks over an extension have not yet made any progress. I can't be the only one who doesn't want to sign Dayot Upamecano. I just don't think he's going to be good enough. I've said it at the time, and I'll repeat it now. For me, when we signed Ibrahim Konate, we signed the better centre-back from Leipzig. So to me, this would be like a little step backwards. Of course, we still don't know what's happening with our centre-back Konate and his future, so fingers crossed we figure that one out soon. But I thought both of the centre-backs last night were much better, and of course showing their aerial prowess as well with 2 very well-taken goals. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it for now. We will be back tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda, where we'll try and pick the bones out of what's really happening with the Mohamed Salah situation. We'll have the preview coming out for the Brentford game tonight at 10:45 after the stream, so do look forward to you having a watch of that and let me know your thoughts on it. And until then, thank you for another great night last night. It was so much fun to share it with you, and I will see you guys tonight at 8:45. Much love. Bye-bye.